Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for August 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, you may notice the Gaia chimes have been reinstated, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Okay, so let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your monthly reading for August. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. I just want to say a happy birthday to all you wonderful Virgos out there who have your birthday in late August. I hope you have the most magical time indeed as you step into your season. But as we are in fabulous Leo season, this is a time to shine your light and really take center stage in your life, which sets you up, of course, for your season. Because August is all about leadership and empowerment. It encourages you to be flamboyant, enjoy yourself, be bold and daring, and of course motivated to accomplish so much by ticking all your priorities off your to-do list. And I have to be honest, with the Gaia chimes, I really got an energy there that you are trying to get ahead of yourself on something, to maybe tie up loose ends because perhaps you have an important event to go to, maybe you're traveling or something, but I really felt an energy of activity with those Gaia chimes, like you're not in a rush, but you're very diligent, powering on through to get active and do something and make sure you complete it to a high standard before you go and do something else. That's the energy that I got there. So perhaps that's something you're preparing for August. But you know, this is a month to get everything done, of course, and leave enough time to bask in all your glory with quality time to pamper yourself. Your first house is influencing you there at the end of the month, so you'll definitely treat yourself a little bit more during that period. But this is about carving out time for your soul tribe as well this month. It's all about energy, confidence, creativity, vitality, and self-expression. Being unapologetically you, of course. And look at that. We got the Hermit to start there. So this is a Virgo card. So you are you, and that is your superpower. So a lot of you soul searching this month as you start to perhaps arrive at your season because you're thinking about your legacy. A lot of you are exhausted as well with that Hermit energy and in need of rest, holding it all together there. But this month, of course, is you think about your personal identity, your courage to pursue your dreams and passions with heart-led purpose. You know, August will align you to lead with love and positivity, to seek out fun and adventure, despite some of those challenges that we've all been experiencing recently. August sees you pushing back, but also looking at your first card, August sees you reaching for more, you know, obtaining that dream, aligning yourself with a wish there. But, you know, this month, of course, sees you peacocking your wonderful self. It's a perfect time to get away. Have a vacation if you find that funds allow any time away, whether it is a vacation or a staycation. It will give you the space to assess your personal direction, your life philosophy, belief system, all that's happening with that hermit energy, so that you can be ready to reinforce any rituals or structures in your life on your return, just to make sure that you remain on target and make great strides towards accomplishing all that you set out to do, and also to, you know, bring more things into your life that bring you joy, that you love. This is a month where your diary will be jam-packed with curious events and invitations to encourage you out to play, and also it helps you increase your zest for life, especially since we have Mars moving into Libra on the 6th. It's also a perfect time to fall in love with your life as well. If you're open to accepting, you know, a soulmate as well, this is a perfect time for you to, you know, fall in love. We have that 8 of coins. I have to be honest there. 8 of coins, your 6th house is influencing you at the beginning of the month. So it's kind of like business as usual on top of your routines, schedules, paying bills, you know, focusing on work if you're in a career, but also your responsibilities and tasks, projects. And, you know, you will tap into, however, because you do have an 8, we have the 8-8 portal, Lionsgate portal, and that's already activated, but it will peak on the 8th of August. Also, I should mention that if you're already in a relationship and you're not looking for a soulmate, you know, you will deepen your connection and reignite that sensual spark and bring you and your partner closer than ever before during this month. And friendships, they deepen as well this time. But, you know, the 8th of August is a perfect time where that portal opens up a transformative energetic flow to connect you to higher vibrations. This alignment facilitates the opportunity to manifest your dreams into reality. And all of your proactive hard work so far, it starts to deliver tangible results. And the 10th of August sees a very powerful planetary parade where 6 planets align, reinforcing these manifesting opportunities. Now, astrologically, as you already know, my beautiful Virgo, things have been very challenging, okay? Lots of drastic changes. It's been hard to catch your break on things. And, you know, once Mercury turns direct on the 11th, you'll actually start to take more charge of your life with clarity and make greater advancements in any area of your life that you are invested in or focused on. Anything that's been blocked or on hold, it starts to shift positively and move forward. I mean, at the end of the month here, you have a Tower and an 8 of Swords. Now, because we have an 8 of Swords, it can indicate that you're liberating yourself from something that has been stuck for a while, or perhaps something that you couldn't see about a person. Perhaps someone reveals their true colors. So we'll get into that when we get into it. I'll shuffle all the cards and get all of your cards first there. But, you know, this month is a little more positive than usual. But, of course, the Tower can represent something that you're shocked about or surprised about. But we will tap in to get more clarity on that. But ultimately, you know, this is a time to advance and take some quality time for you to have fun or take a vacation, step back a little bit to assess. And also for stargazers out there, if you like, you know, astronomy, Jupiter and Venus get up close and personal on the 12th. Whilst it looks great in the sky, it's also a very auspicious day to attract better luck, receive good news, mend any issues or complications, and really harmonize your life. And of course, on the 22nd of August there, we have the black new moon in your sign, okay? Now, interesting that we have that Tower there, because whilst that energy from that moon offers a grounding and a practical focus to get more organized, it also clashes with the planet of chaos and plot twists, Uranus. Of course it does. So there may be some unexpected surprises that you need to navigate at the end of the month. Jupiter, the planet of good luck and abundance, it will endeavor to take the edge off and turn these plot twists in your favor. You know, I don't choose the cards for you, my beautiful Virgo. You know, I wish you didn't get that Tower, but we have to acknowledge what it is. I mean, the Tower, For me, basically, it is an Aries Scorpio card, and it highlights where you feel like you've been going round and round in circles, having the same conversations with people, same arguments, or feeling like you've hit a plateau in some area of your life. Could be at work, you feel like you've hit a financial glass ceiling. It's time to shatter through that. Towers offer opportunities for change, but I would say a lot of you have been under pressure, holding it all together, and perhaps this is a period where things get critical, where you think it has to change, so you may be managing stress levels in a different way. Okay, but also I would say that this is a period where breakthroughs happen, and a tower is a breakthrough, in my humble opinion. And that's what it means. Look it up. It can mean something positive. It can also mean something challenging, not negative. The tower literally means surprise. Okay, same with the Wheel of Fortune. It means surprise. And it all depends on the other kind of cards and energies that pop out around the tower. And you got an 8 of Swords. So something could be like a rude awakening about a person or a situation, or a real eye-opener on something, or suddenly you have an idea and you just break free because you found an alternative way of approaching something. But we'll get to that in a moment. Now, I do want you to be aware of global events. Of course, please fast forward this part if you don't wish to hear it. I just like to let people know of the energy of how it affects the world that we live in. And I did mention in July's forecast that Mercury retrograde would play havoc with technology and internet security. And of course, we saw a major power outage across Starlink, and some very well-known brands experienced cyber breaches. Well, Mercury retrograde does not play nice, and the post-shadow will not clear until the 25th of August. So for some of you, that tower could represent some sort of internet outage, or perhaps a glitch in something, maybe critical when you're trying to do something important. Suddenly the internet goes down, or, I would say strengthen passwords if you feel the need to, and save down important work there, because of course we will see more of the same. Nothing to be paranoid about, of course, but always important to be mindful. 8 of Swords. This is normally a card where someone cannot see, they are blindfold, for example, but the tower can be suddenly a power outage. So it can represent like momentary kind of like darkness, but everything will go back as planned there as well. So it'll be fixed. But as I said, I will get to that in a moment. I'm just highlighting how energies can influence in and around the tower. But also, I did mention in my yearly forecasts that this year would be all about fire and water. And that's what we've seen. Unfortunately, that is what we've seen globally. And, the planetary movements this year have supported this influence. Major seismic shifts. I also mentioned that they would occur in and around the Ring of Fire, and activity, of course, in the Pacific Ocean too. That's fire and water. We've already seen unusually high activity. Now, don't get me wrong, that part of the world is always active, right? But we have seen higher activity, and I mentioned that, and unfortunately, I envisage more to come. And I wish this was not the case, and I do not buy into the currency of fear. I'm not here to make anyone worried, but I have to acknowledge that landscapes are shifting and changing, and I'm always honest in my readings. We've seen an uptick of extreme shifts as well as erratic weather events globally. So August, you're going to see a lot of headlines, perhaps, if you see headlines. Not many people watch headlines anymore, but, there may be some global conversations encouraged that are centered around like weather systems changing direction, jet streams becoming more unstable, ocean patterns altering randomly, significantly impacting the topography due to major seismic activities, and basically how we can navigate these changes. August is a month of managing, and that tower can be that you're managing pressure, or perhaps, if you are already managing some sort of symptom, you may have like a minor flare-up there, okay? And then you're managing it again. So again, I hate to mention that, but the tower is there for a reason. It can be something that comes to a critical climax in some way. But, as I said, this month is all about managing and releasing the buildup of pressure. So whether that's global or personal, that's what this month is about, in order to find more fun or more balance, or find motivation to build stability for the future, find a foundation there, both globally and personally. But overall, it's a very powerful month to align with what brings you joy and offers you a platform to be more sociable, more present, whilst at the same time making major advancements to achieve personal goals, to embrace that inner fire, your playfulness, and basically be more you. So this could be that you've been feeling that you've been laying dormant for a long time, that, you know, that passion is bubbling up inside you. Perhaps you've been trying to reignite that spark, and then suddenly you're active, you're alive, a bit like a volcano, for example. You know, this is where you really come to the fore. I mean, looking at the cards that are around it, it's like Eight of Swords, because remember, the Tower is literally surprise, okay? And we've got an Eight of Swords, so whatever this surprise is, you don't see it coming. But Eight of Swords, very important. Look up the meanings of the cards. Eight of Swords means you're protected. Okay, the swords are pointing down, so that means, you know, a shield of protection. And we got an Ace of Cups, and we got a King of Pentacles. Okay, so this can mean that suddenly something that you love is being offered to you. Or if you're searching for love, you could fall in love, like love at first sight. With the King of Pentacles being present, this could be that suddenly you're offered like a dream job or more money, or you have a windfall, okay, on something. A lot of you, I would say it's not like winning the lottery, okay, because we don't have the Ten of Pentacles to back that up there, but it can be that, you know, financially there is a nice little surprise regarding, you know, your acquisitions or, you know, your financial strategy in some way. But let's get to your cards, because the Hermit is there, and this indicates, you know, a withdrawal to focus on something. So this could be you going off into your little sanctuary. You know, hermits normally go into caves, but I'm going to call it a sanctuary because I feel, looking at the energy with the Eight of Coins, you know, that is all about the self. 8 is the number of the self, and there's some candles there, of course. And then we've got the Justice card, which is all about harmony. So I'm going to say that you are focused on your sanctuary, your home life. So you may actually find that balance between going out and being more sociable, but a lot of you could be like spending time at home to focus on, you know, daily tasks, you know, getting organized in the home space, decluttering, maybe doing a little bit of like a summer clean or a winter clean, depending on where you are, in which hemisphere there. But also the Hermit is soul searching. You're reaching for something. You're reaching for a dream. That Hermit is reaching for inspiration or star, a wish. Okay, so you're hoping for something, but you may be withdrawing in order to plan it, or some of you are feeling exhausted at this time. I mean, this year's been a lot, okay? There's been a lot of plot twists, a lot of navigating, a lot of transitions, a lot of new beginnings. It's hard to catch up. There's been a lot of change. I mean, over the last couple of years, everything feels like it's changed. It's almost like we're catching up with ourselves, remembering who we are in some way. And a lot of you may feel exhausted in these changes, but you're still managing life. You're still showing up and bringing your A game there. So that Hermit energy can indicate a step back in order to really soul search, recognize what it's all about, you know, thinking, reflecting, inner wisdom, lots of knowledge coming to you. You're a very sensitive person. And of course, you know, there is this sense of responsibility. And I feel, because you have the King of Coins there, that tells me that you're going to be in a very duty-led energy this month, especially since that 6th house is all about, you know, paying bills, you know, focused on your repayment plans and, you know, your financial strategy. Some of you may even learn about like generational wealth or financial structures. You may even find a person that you really resonate with. You may not come into contact with this person because the Eight of Swords is there. It's like you may not see them in person. So it could be someone who's like on the internet who gives advice. But I would say be mindful. Always do your due diligence. Always seek the truth. You know, if you're finding out any like financial advice in particular online, you know, then of course, just back it up with the facts. Just make sure, and I'm sure you would investigate further there, but I feel with that Hermit energy, you already have a lot of this knowledge, but it could be that you're trying to create a structure or trying to perhaps manage your finances in a certain way. I mean, there could actually be some rules or regulations or policies that change around generational wealth or 401ks, pensions, and it may shock people because the Tower can be a shock. So because we've got the Justice energy, I mean, this tells me a lot of you are like doing paperwork or, you know, doing receipts, or, you know, filling in forms, or kind of applying for things right now, maybe applying to reinvest in self. Some of you may be trying to get new knowledge there, upskilling in some way. Or some of you are trying to learn more about you and investing in yourself financially through, you know, mindfulness, meditation, maybe a massage, for example, or a retreat if you're lucky enough to be able to afford one of those. Or perhaps it can be that, you know, you want good quality time alone to really just think about how hard you've been working and the cycle of repeat that you've been in. Because some of you, you know, the Hermit indicates you are very established at what you do. So if you're in a career, for example, you know, you're keeping your nose to the grindstone, you're someone who is working super hard, you're a pro at what you do. Eight of Pentacles means you've mastered a craft to a certain high degree, and it can be that you're trying to reach for more. So with that King of Pentacles, some of you are reaching for more money. So this could be a promotion coming on in here for you. Maybe it's something that surprises you. You know, perhaps you're reaching for something, but something better comes in. Maybe you're putting your resume out there, trying to find an alternative way. I mean, this is an energy of time out. So some of you may take a vacation that gives you that quality time in order to assess more about you, your needs, how they're being met or not. What's the missing ingredients? You know, what is it that's present in your life that you love already, and what do you need to shed? You know, the Eight of Pentacles is an energy of also, and I hate to mention this, some of you may do some repair work in and around the home. Some of you, you're capable of doing these repairs yourself, but you may also spend some money on a qualified person who is a pro at what they do in order to repair something. I'm seeing repairs here. With the Justice energy, I mean, for some of you it's technical. You know, I'm not seeing anything specific of what it could be, but I'm feeling it's technical. And it's almost like you may be aware that at some point it needs a service, but then suddenly you're like, oh, and then it either cuts out. Okay, and then you have to actually get it repaired. So I hate to give that message, but it's there. I feel like you will, you know, have the resources to fix it. And also I feel like you are on a good savings plan strategy this month. You know, I feel like you're on top of it. You're being stricter with your finances, but I feel if you've got like a reserve fund or savings, kind of like just in case anything is needed to be fixed, I feel like you may dip into it this month. Okay, I hate to give that message, but it's there. Now, when you have the Eight of Pentacles, this indicates a new opportunity could come in for work, okay? But also this is about you working really hard to put things in order in your life. So maybe simplifying things. Maybe you're feeling a need to prioritize your own needs at this time, simplify your life a little bit more, removing yourself from drama. But also it's really interesting because I'm really being given this energy of, let me show you this card. It's like select it, project it, expect it, and collect it. So this came up like months ago in a reading. I'm not sure if it was for your reading or for another sign. I'm not really sure, but it's like a neuroscience, like manifestation kind of ritual. So I feel that there's this energy of you expecting success, or you expecting something, you're claiming it before it's arrived because you're believing in yourself that you're going to have it, and you are. I want you to be aware of it. You're going to manifest it. We've got the Ace of Cups here. So this is an offering from the universe. There's often a hand of the universe that comes in. So I do feel here that, you know, something is being offered that's very fulfilling for you that you're going to love. So a lot of you, it could be financially related. So if you are hoping for a new job, there's one coming on in. If you've been out of work for a while, especially with the Magician card in the Resistance position, I feel there is an energy of feeling like you've been on hold. You're so full of potential here and you're ready to go, but you may feel the job market is oversaturated and you've struggled with finding an opportunity because people may have said that you're overqualified, for example. So with that Queen of Coins in the Resistance position, some of you may be worried about finances, of course, and you're worried about your home and repayments and things like that. Your sixth house is going to prioritize that for you in order for you to get life back on track and make it run smoothly. Okay, so if you're dealing with that right now, I definitely see an opportunity coming in. This could be a high-ranking position with a lot of responsibility. It feels very serious in its role, where you maybe managing perhaps a team, or there's a sense of duty, being in command of something, maybe protecting something, guarding something, or, having a lot of knowledge that you can pull into this very responsible role, I would say. And I feel you're going to love it. And they may actually offer you something more. So it feels like you establish yourself in something, but they love what you do so much that they offer you more, or there's an incentive or commission or something extra that comes with this, maybe even a bonus or incentives or perks, as it were, because I feel like there is something here that benefits you that you perhaps didn't see coming, that is going to make you feel extra happy with that, okay? So moving away from work, I mean, there may be some surprises in and around work as well. Let me see here. I feel there may be someone who leaves, okay? But that kind of is like the door to more, as it were. It's like a gatekeeper. There's a bit of a reshuffle or a merge or something. There's something going on, some shifts or changes. I mean, there could even be a change of location at your working environment for refurbishment, okay? But when you return, you're going to love it. It just feels like it's better there. But again, I'm going to remove the energy from work. I feel a lot of you, the Hermit is to get some quiet time, but because the Tower is there, you could struggle with getting some quiet time, trying to find, a moment to focus on something you've been meaning to get round to. But it's always the same, if you're trying to do something in silence, because the Hermit almost takes a vow of silence, kind of like removes themselves in order to be in their own company. And of course, then suddenly you get roadworks outside your house, or your neighborhood is suddenly doing a demolition job, or perhaps your neighbors are doing some DIY. So it could be that you're trying to get some good quality rest, or you go to like a really nice retreat and then suddenly they're doing some major works and you're like, come on, give me a break, because this can be like loud noises or interference in some way. Or it could be someone, if you're having a vacation for some of you and you are in a career, it could be that while you're away, people are trying to reach out and you're like, come on, I'm taking a rest here. So it could get a little bit critical, or you could have to stand your ground on something and say, no, I'm away. Respect my boundary on that. So some of you may deal with that, but let's remove it from work there, because I feel this is about you investing in yourself, looking at your health goals, especially mindfulness, cultivating positive habits and mindsets in order to reach your personal goals, but also soul searching there with your first house, because that's all about, your identity. Revamping your wardrobe can be an expression of you. So I feel there's going to be many aspects of that, but you're really going to be looking at what makes you feel unique, what makes you stand out from the crowd, searching for your place in the world. If you're unhappy with any aspect of your life, this is a great month to focus on setting those changes in motion. So you may literally revamp yourself, okay, in some way. It could be that you change the style of your hair or the color of your hair, or it could be that you do your makeup, if you do makeup, in a different way, or it could be that you express yourself with a new item in your wardrobe, be more flamboyant, or it could be also that you have a bit of a plot twist and decide to move neighborhoods or move jobs. It just feels like very spontaneous energy there. Some of you may also get a very spontaneous, I'm being given two energies here, a spontaneous invitation to something that you're going to love. But also, for those of you who are single, and I mean, maybe even if you're not, I feel someone may surprise you with a declaration of love. There's someone here who has feelings for you, and they kind of like haven't had the courage to tell you, because the Courage card is in the Resistance position. But I feel this person, they're kind of taking stock of their own life as well and feel like they've been wasting time. So I feel right now they're going to just go for it. So expect a declaration of love, or someone like flirting with you in such like a monumental fashion that you are like, okay, this person's really into me. So I feel like you are going to become aware of that, okay? And let me see how you feel about that person. I mean, looking at the Justice card, if you're with someone already or you're married, I feel like you're not entertaining that. I feel like you're, okay, that shocks me. Look, Ace of Cups again. Yeah, someone here loves you very much or has feelings for you. I mean, if you're single, that's what I was clarifying. How do you feel about this person? You're in love with this person as well. or you will, like, there's an attraction there that you feel has some potential. There's an opportunity, and you feel this person, like, is very romantic. There is romantic feelings involved here. So if you have a crush on someone, this person will shock you by telling you out of the blue. I feel like they literally blurt it out, like maybe invite you out for a drink or something. But they're going to show you with actions that they are invested in this. So yeah, I feel there could be a match. Love at first sight, perhaps, or maybe love that grows into something. Or if you have a crush, as I said, this person, like, there's two aces here, Ace of Cups. I was clarifying this with the Tower. So I would say, yep, there's a good potential here for you to fall in love. If you're married, though, or in a high-level commitment, I feel like you're doing the right thing with that Justice card. I feel like you're not even tempted looking at the energy. Looking at the energy, I feel like you have better at home, is what I'm being given. Not that you're not going to honor this person's feelings because they have feelings, but you may be, with the Eight of Swords, I feel like you protect yourself, feeling like, especially if they knew that you're already committed to somebody else, because the Eight of Pentacles with a Justice card tells me a lot of you may be committed to a person, and if they know that you're committed to a person and they try and flirt with you or cross a boundary, I feel you could kind of like give them a very kind of like big wake-up call. You know, I feel like you give them something to really think about. Okay, so yeah, let's put it that way. It could get a little bit tense, especially if it's in a working environment, okay? So just be mindful, especially if this person is a boss, because this could bruise an ego and then they could actually take it out on you in the career aspect. So, you know, kick gloves when it comes to, you know, letting someone down on something, because of course they have feelings, but if they're abusing their power, that's of course not acceptable. But, you know, if you have any work events, I would say there's a strong potential that someone under the influence as well could just expose their feelings for you, because the Tower is there and it is an exposing card. But ultimately, moving away from that, the Ace of Cups has highlighted again that something that you will love, that you're reaching for, the universe is delivering, and you will celebrate this. Okay, so the universe is stepping in. There's divine intervention here. I mean, also the Ace of Cups can indicate with the Tower that self-care is important. And if you've been literally on the go without a break, the Hermit is asking you to take a pause, to reflect, to regroup your energy, because this can indicate that things get critical, you run yourself down, or you're running on empty, you're holding it all together. I mean, I feel there's an energy here of trying to manage cortisol levels, stress levels, things like that, so that they don't get critical. Sometimes, you know, especially we're just busy doing life, we're not even aware that perhaps the stresses and strains of life are taking a toll inwards, you know, because you got another 8 here, and this can be the pressures that you don't see, or it could be that you have a wake-up call regarding how you put yourself under pressure, or the critical, you know, inner conflicts or conversations that you have, the inner critic, for example. It could be that you're becoming aware of how to manage that inner critic and quieten that inner critic as well, and activate more self-care and compassion for self there with that, okay? But ultimately, I feel, you know, you're being offered something this month that's quite exciting. But the Justice card, of course, this indicates a lot of paperwork, but also making some lifestyle adjustments. I feel like you're being true to your passions. I feel like you're honoring your needs this month. And the Justice card, for some of you, there could be some legal documents or legal structures you're looking into. Always get good quality advice from people who are qualified to give it. But that Justice card can indicate something that wasn't fair suddenly becomes fair. There's more balance and harmony in your life there as well. And also, I would say diplomacy. That's what's, you know, coming with anyone who kind of like oversteps a mark. You know, of course, and I have mentioned this before, but if anyone is disrespectful, you know, you have the right to reinforce your boundaries and be very strict with those boundaries, and, you know, even be audacious with those boundaries. You know, you have the right to be courageous with calling people out, of course. But also, I would say to avoid any drama or any like backlash. You know, you can find the right words to be very precise, very direct, very cutting, but also, you know, very diplomatic so that you're just calling someone out, but saying, hey, these are the facts. I'm removing the drama, because I feel a lot of you with this, if you're dealing with a person who tends to push your buttons or tries to get a reaction from you, this is a very detached card. You know, so it can be that you are mastering the art of detachment in some way in your life right now. And for many different reasons. So removing drama, maybe you're outgrowing people or friends or pathways in your life, but also this can be mastering the art of detachment in order to quieten the noise in life so that you can focus on more important things that are right for you right now without distractions, whether it's projects, you know, or even just soul searching. But also I would say this is an energy to kind of like focus on you a little bit more. You know, not be selfish with your time, but yeah, still be a little bit selfish with your time, if you know what I mean. I feel like you give a lot of yourself, and this is about adjusting the balance in some way. But also, I feel for some of you, there's maybe something to do with the district or council or some sort of legal change that maybe you will be shocked by. I feel ultimately there is this energy, and this is coming like collectively. It feels like the pressure is on in something, but then it gets a U-turn. So just watch out for that. I feel wait until things settle. You may find there's a U-turn on something that actually you're like, whew, thank goodness, but that's coming out there as well. But we have the Courage card. So I feel you have been struggling with something, perhaps, and I feel like you managed to conquer it. A lot of you, this could be you trying to make some adjustments in your life, like healthy eating, for example, balanced diet, because this is balance, you know, being more active, being in the flow, finding the balance between working hard, playing harder, being sociable. But also I feel this is, you know, you finding your courage in an ever-changing world to see your life path from a higher perspective and be locked on with like precision on your goals and try and find your way to not lose sense of what's important and be really passionate and show up. You know, this is a card of kind of like, I would say, reigniting your spark, you know, being more creative, being productive, but also doing a lot of releasing. And I would say releasing the inner fire, as it were, but also I would say releasing the past. You know, having the courage to move on from something or having the courage to cut something out, being more in control. Maybe even more control of your desires. Maybe there's something you're tempted to connect to that perhaps you've tried to cut out or have less of. Some of you may be weaning yourself off something, or maybe you find out suddenly that, you know, you have an intolerance to something or an allergic reaction to something that you need to cut out. Or, you know, it can be that you have noticed that something has been affecting you. Maybe it's something you're digesting, because we have the cup there, which can be to imbibe something or digest something. And it can be that you're noticing that things are getting a little bit critical now. Your body is saying, okay, you know, you've had a lot of this. It's time to either cut back, release it, or temper it in some way so that you can, you know, manage it more effectively. So I feel a lot of you, because you started with an Eight of Pentacles as your first card from this deck, this is you kind of like investing in self, body, mind, and soul, but of course working really hard. So you may be doing some repair work inside of yourself as well, and focusing on hormones, being in balance, looking at vitamin deficiencies, all of those things this month, because your sixth house is influencing you. And that is about staying on top of your diet, exercise routines, sleeping patterns, and of course your health in general. So if you have had a wake-up call in some area of your life, I feel like you're diligently making sure that you manage it until you feel more like yourself. Okay. You know, I feel like you're in better energy there, and I feel like you are in command of it in some way as well there. So we also have that Magician. Now, a lot of you may feel like you haven't reached full potential on something that you will actually reach full potential on. So whether it is a career path, or for some of you, because we have the Hermit there, if you're retired, this can be that you're focusing on yourself, your sense of purpose, and really questioning what's it all about. You know, and I feel a lot of you with that Justice card, you're fighting for something that is right. You're thinking about humanitarian aid. You're thinking about making a difference and impact, your legacy. It's like your time to reach for something more, to be known for helping out in some way or getting connected in the community. There's more to life than just going to work and, building finances, for example. So whether you're retired or not, a lot of you are thinking about that at this time and this sense of what is fair. And with the Magician energy, you could be manifesting, dreams into reality, but also you're taking action on something. You have all the tools that you require, or if you feel like there is a missing ingredient in your life this month, you're going to discover it, or the universe is going to deliver it. Very powerful manifesting month for you. 8-8 portal, you started with an 8. Okay, so I want you to be aware, you got another 8 there, 8-8 either side, and you have the Leo card right in the center. So if you are reaching for something, because that Hermit is reaching for a star, which is a wish, but it can also be healing because you have that 8 of Pentacles, which is repair work. If you've had a shock, for example, you may be healing from that. You're going to make great headway this month there as well and be able to manage it. I always say that, I have conflicting views on people saying, well, time is a healer. And I say time because, of course, we've got a clock there. Time allows us the breath to manage because things are hard. And if you're wounded by anything or you're grieving, a person or a part of yourself or a part of life that you feel has changed so radically that you're just trying to rebuild and find your way, it's hard and it takes time to recalibrate, to really find your way through the chaos of emotions or the physicality of whatever it is you're managing. So I always say it takes time to learn to manage. And some of you may be doing that at this time, but you will get on top of things. Now, also, I feel a lot of you, because let's face it, life is challenging, okay? And you're reaching for your goals and dreams and you're putting a lot of effort in there. You're working super hard. But also the Hermit can be, as we mature, we start to lose the magic or the sparkle in life, okay? So with the Magician, I feel like this is about you reigniting the sparkle or finding the magic in the everyday. It is there, we just have to witness it. And in order to witness it, sometimes we got to slow down. We got to smell the roses, okay? So I feel you're being asked to slow down a little bit. I feel there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for you, a breakthrough on something here, and there is a success. The Magician card is going to show up in its energy for you to highlight that something you've been struggling with or something that's been challenging, suddenly there's a breakthrough on it, and it feels like, you believe again. This could also be your guides showing you signs and symbols saying, don't lose faith, believe and receive, because I feel like you're receiving something that you've had struggle believing in, as it were. But the Magician is at the very core of your reading, which reinforces faith in something. And it's almost like, and I don't like this energy of how it's coming out, but I mean, there's a law of the universe, a law of attraction, a law of balance, and there's lots of laws to the universe, of course, but I feel you've gone through something that was a radical struggle, okay? And it feels very much like you are being sent a gift as an acknowledgement that, you're strong enough to navigate this period. And, for some of you, it's almost like if you felt like you were shouting into the void on something, the universe is listening. They are hearing, and there is something being sent to you that you will love. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you have been struggling with something, but I do see this breakthrough coming through for you. Now, if some of you are going through a legality, maybe, getting all those documents together, proof of something perhaps, and you may have gone really quiet in order to prepare a case. I feel like you've got someone who's really good on your team. Some of you may even be representing yourself there with that energy, but I do feel you may find someone who has a lot of knowledge to help you, and they could literally blow this case out of the water, and, you get such a great recompense. This is a really great outcome or something that you would love. So if you're going through some sort of legal battle, okay, and you're exhausted, but you're powering on through, I see a really surprising but positive outcome here for you. Something that perhaps you didn't see coming. It could even end really quickly, suddenly. After a long period of time, you're like, oh, you didn't expect it to end in August, but suddenly it does. We have the Queen of Pentacles there. It's in the resistance position. Okay, so this is a Virgo card, so it can indicate a lot of you with that Hermit, because you're exhausted, you haven't been feeling yourself for a while, and this is where suddenly, you have a breakthrough on something health related, or even find that missing ingredient, the missing piece of the puzzle. Maybe you connect to something that's making you feel passionate, like a hobby, and I have to acknowledge there that this is about you becoming more like yourself, feeling back in the flow, back on top of things. So it could be that, because the Magician energy is all about energy. It's about, your environment and how it affects you, as above, so below. So it could be that you are noticing things in your environment that have been affecting you, and you're cutting them out, or, disassociating from them in some way, or trying to detach from them in some way, and you just have more vitality. But also I have to acknowledge that the Queen of Pentacles in the resistance position can indicate, someone who's envious of you in some way, okay? And I would just say here that their actions may shock you in the month of August. It's like you see someone for who they truly are, but I feel this is because they don't feel so great about themselves. So again, compassion, but if they're overstepping a mark, you have the absolute right, of course, to, call them out. So you may expose them and say, hey, I see what you're doing here. So that's something that's coming out there as well. But Queen of Coins, it will go into the upright. So this indicates you being committed to your home space. Of course, a lot of you will make sure you find that balance to be more sociable. Some of you may even make money from home if you don't already. You may be selling pre-loved goods after a period of a clear out, getting around to that cupboard, reorganizing in some way. But this is basically you being the architect of your dreams, committed to something. And basically, showing up for yourself and doing what you got to do, no matter the challenges, and being rewarded for it. Queen of Pentacles tends to have a rabbit on the card, so that means you're multiplying wealth as well. That's your intention. So new money-making ideas, maybe even creative endeavors. A lot of you have all those resources. You just have the courage to perhaps move forward on something. So it could be like, I don't know, we're in a very digital age. So it could be that you've been through some stuff. You've had experiences, whether it's life experiences about dating, whether it's life experiences about work. Maybe some of you are writing a book about, the knowledge you have on skills that are required for a certain industry, or perhaps your experiences in an industry. Could be that you're getting yourself online. It could be that you are suddenly showing up with your cell phone, filming yourself and putting yourself on a social media platform and talking about you and the struggles that you've overcome. And some of you, if you've retired, for example, or you're thinking about retirement, could be that you're doing some videos about retirement or navigating the way towards retiring early. Maybe you're informing others and helping others, and through the process, you're also building a financial strategy for yourself there as well. So I just see that for a lot of people right now. In an ever-changing world, people are trying to make sure they have like a backup or another plan, and a lot of you, my beautiful Virgo, are like that. And your sixth house is going to make you think about that anyway. Okay, now I cannot ignore the fact that we've got a King and Queen of Pentacles here. So because we have an Ace of Cups, there is love on the cards for sure. There is a high level commitment coming on in. You may even have your partner, if you're with someone, pop the question if they haven't already. Maybe Eight of Swords suggests you didn't see this coming. Maybe some of your friends or family members may have been keeping a secret. So that could happen there. But also I feel some of you, if you have been going through a divorce or separation, it could be final, I do see some of you questioning whether you'll ever love again. And the answer is absolutely yes. You may need to give it a space or a breath there. But I feel this is an energy of you kind of like removing all the stuff and the people from your life. It's kind of like that you're not just doing that, you're removing yourself from drama. What I mean is, if I focus more on your energy, I feel in some way you're upgrading your life, going from a queen to a king energy. I often see the queen as the power behind the throne, but it could be that you become more visible on something right now. So if you're working on something behind the scenes, it could be that you're ready to reveal. Suddenly you like launch it, take a leap of faith. Those two people are taking a leap of faith. Okay. This is an energy where I always say that the tower is like a prison. You go round and round circles on something, or maybe you have been involved in a project that feels like it's never ending, and then suddenly you're ready to release, or suddenly you're ready to, get it moving forward. But But also this can be a tower of power, that it requires a lot of energy for you to make some changes or adjustments in your life, but you're here for it and you're making it happen. You know, some of you as well, there is repair work. So if you have been separate from a person and you want to reignite the connection with you or repair, you could have some crisis talks with a person who's really close to you. And, you know, with that energy, with the tower, there could be some surprising revelations, because the tower is revelation. It is, you know, suddenly seeing people in new lights, as it were. And it could be that things get critical, but maybe you need to really sort through the stuff and get critical before both of you realize what each person's been going through or dealing with or managing, and then suddenly you kind of like find a way back towards each other. I'm just saying that because the Ace of Cups is there, and at the foundation of the relationship is love and respect, but perhaps this is about reigniting that spark or finding your way back towards each other. So if you do want to repair, I'm only mentioning the Eight of Pentacles is a repair card. So I feel there could be a repair of a relationship. Now, this doesn't have to be romantic. It can be a family member. It can be that, you know, you repair a relationship with a coworker or someone who's in your immediate circumstances. But also, I feel this is about empowering yourself, okay? Upgrading your life in some way, amplifying your wealth, being more serious about changing your life or coming out of a comfort zone or breaking out of, you know, an unhealthy habit or an unhealthy cycle. Eight of Swords can be that you felt bound to something for a long time, but suddenly you're freeing yourself from this. And it just feels quite exciting because the Ace of Cups is there. It feels like you are liberating yourself, you feel free, or you love what comes next. A lot of you, this is you dreaming big and bringing your dreams into reality and seeing the possibilities unfold in front of you or being made available for you. So I feel that this is the light at the end of the tunnel, the breakthrough moment that things start to really take shape for you in the most positive of fashions. You know, King of Pentacles is responsibility. It's someone being self-made, you know, so it can be that you have a strong sense of duty and maybe you always do the right thing. And that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, you may want to be a little bit more spontaneous. The Tower can represent breaking out of that cycle of just, you know, wanting to be a little bit more of a risk taker, for example, but it's a calculated risk because of all of the other cards that you have there. So yeah, we've got Pioneer that just popped out there. I mean, some of you are inventing something. You could have a major breakthrough. Make sure you patent something, especially since we got the Justice card there. You know, this can be to trademark something, copyright something, patent it if you're inventing as well. But also, I would say this is a legality, you know, so if you're doing something bold and daring, you could be putting legal papers in place to legally claim it as yours. It could also be like completing on a property. If you are signing any contract this month, I would say with the Queen of Pentacles in the resistance position, I would say there's an energy here of someone kind of like not giving you the time. So if anyone tries to pressurize you into signing something quite quickly or tells you that, oh, it's time sensitive, you've only got until like an hour to choose whether you want to purchase this thing or sign this thing or whatever it is, you know, that's a red flag, okay? Take your time with it. Just make sure, you know, that... Oh, my guide said to go again. Yeah, inventor. Interesting. I felt invention energy coming out there, and you actually got a card that says invention. So some of you could be actually reinventing yourself because of your first house of revamping, you know, a style or a look. But also we got headache. If you suffer from migraines, I think I mentioned this earlier, if you suffer from something, there could be a flare-up on something with that tower, but you may actually meet someone or be referred to like a practitioner who can help you manage something. It just feels like you're given something that's like, oh, okay, it's great. Again, because we got the Eight of Swords as well, some of you, there may be eye strain that's causing a migraine, so make sure you stand away or remove yourself from like cell phones or screens, you know, because we've got headache there and we got the tower. This can represent, you know, some sort of migraine or headache or pressure, especially since, you know, we have that clash at the end of the month that I mentioned. But it says here, if you've been unwell or had poor health, I see you getting back to best there. Needing self-care, yes, that came out there. Root problem or root cause, someone who's annoying as well or disagreeable, maybe dealing with someone stubborn there, okay? But I feel like you come to, you know, some sort of resolution. Something's off. If you have an underlying pain or condition, this could indicate don't leave it until it gets critical. I don't see you like dealing with anything that's worrying there, okay? Because you don't have any worry cards. I actually see a solution being offered, especially since you have the Justice card and the Ace of Cups. If you look up the meanings of those two cards together in a reading, it means finding a solution that you will love, okay? We've also got Pioneer, so this is to be bold, to be daring. It says here, destination or bust. Well, I see that there is a breakthrough, not a bust, because you've got the King of Coins, which is a great card to land on, and an Ace of Cups. Cutting edge, long journey, trailblazing, true grit, working hard, challenges, navigating challenges, uncharted territory, resourceful, being part of a team. Got your six. I don't know what that means, got your six. Maybe it's your crew. I don't know, because you got a crew card right there. Maybe some of you are going on a boat trip. But, you know, this could also be that you're paddling your own canoe, okay, that you're showing up for yourself. Maybe you're someone who has been used to people maybe not showing up for yourself. You're always walking your own talk, so you've had to just be reliant on yourself. But also because you have crew energy here and you have two people, it could be that you meet someone that you're in sync with, okay? Oh yeah, I forgot. My guides just pointed at this unflappable courage. And you've got that right there. Unflappable courage to see something through to the end. But it says in sync, esprit de corps, okay? So body, mind, and soul, they're working together as a unit, team, leadership. You've definitely got leadership energy here. You're taking charge of your life, but also, you know, promotion vibes. We've got pooling assets, camaraderie, gung-ho, forming alliances, partnerships, team effort. I mean, there's literally two people taking a leap of faith there. So some of you, this could be a business endeavor. Or maybe you and family members are pooling your resources to purchase property. Or, you know, to set up a business in some way. We've also got family and loyalty. As I said earlier, loyalty is what you're about. So when someone kind of like flirts with you, I feel like you're going to do the right thing if you're with a partner. But also a lot of you are focused on your sense of duty to your family because of that sixth house. But it says loyalty, faithfulness, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitments, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. If you're searching for your soul tribe, I do see a kindred spirit energy here, okay? And yeah, I feel you may also find love in group activities as well there if you're searching. But we've also got that inventor card, inventor and pioneer. I mean, some of you, it can be that you're doing something that is already established, but you're just putting a unique spin on it, because I'm just getting this energy of like, you're not inventing the wheel already exists, but it can be that you are doing something that is innovative, that is different. And this could be technologically minded as well. Perhaps you're creating a website or an app or something, but it doesn't have to be. But it says here, creativity, gadgets, innovation, imagination, technology, groundbreaking developments. Groundbreaking developments. The tower is right there. Groundbreaking developments. Also, if some of you are on a fault line, I would say it could be a little bit of a rumble there. You got the King of Pentacles, which means you're secure, you're safe. Ace of Cups can indicate that it brings people together to make sure that, you know, everyone is accounted for, and you know, if anyone needs anything, people like pull together, as it were. But we've also got inspired ideas, setting trends, mastermind, and modern era. Interesting, because you're going from a hermit, which is an old soul, and then of course you're going into something new. Eight of Swords. Swords can be about the ether technology. So some of you may be navigating that at this time. But I feel this is about getting back into sync with your life. And also kind of like needing self-care, managing stress levels. So yeah, I feel like you're on top of things, but I also feel like you are extra critical on yourself sometimes. So just watch that. You know, if this is a pentacle, is it a pentacle? Oh my gosh, it is a clock. Because I'm just seeing that a lot of you will find unusual coins in unusual places, and they may mean something to you. So I'm going to leave that there. But we've actually got a clock. So maybe under pressure, something time sensitive. I mean, looking at the energy, there could be a document that perhaps if you have a partner, they may mislay to the side. So just look at your hard copy mail, or maybe look at a spam folder as well. You don't want to miss any important documents, because I feel a lot of you this month is about important documents. If you're waiting on anything, check, you know, with anyone you live with, just in case they've put it to the side, been meaning to tell you, but forgot. It may be time sensitive there, may actually give you more money. So it may be a check, for example. But we have this, basically this trinket, which means that you are being disciplined with your time. You're owning your time. Okay, so yeah, I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. That was very complex, may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor what came out there in the cards. So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Virgo. Thank you so much, and love and light.